Okay, folks, I'd like to call the Unionville Town Board meeting of March 5th, 2025 to order here. We'll start out with a salute to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with justice for all. Okay, motion to approve the minutes of February 5th.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. Last meeting, I forgot to bring the January finance report with me, so I have that here tonight. I'll go through that. In the general checking, we have 415,318. Miscellaneous receipts is 191,080. General money market fund is 94,883. The general New York class fund is 2,659,654. The general New York class reserve is 5,010. The general New York class ARPA is 840. Total on the general funds are 3,366,785. The highway checking account is 54,284. Highway money market account is 28,114. Highway New York class account is 71,363. The Highway West Clove Bridge project is 590,949. And the New York class reserve for highway is 150,674. It's 895,384 in the highway account for a grand total of 4,262,169. Did a brief poll here and like to make a change on the agenda. The new business B, Parks employee hire, like to move that towards the end of the meeting and have an executive session to discuss the resume. Motion to that effect.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. So that's what we'll do there. And that should do it. And that is the extent of things for me. Councilman Welch, anything to report?
Yeah, I've been researching truck prices. I know you did you've been doing it as well. See if I can come up with anything. Looks like you did a pretty thorough job in your approach of buying two components separately, the dump body and the chassis. Is
Yeah, we're gonna have to just,
the best
I'll
deal.
give you an
I know we're
update
gonna
on
discuss
that.
later, but,
Yeah, I'll give you an update on
I
that.
found something similar, but it's still another almost $4,000 more. So.
Right. Okay, thank you. Councilman Harrington?
I just been following the library issue, but I have nothing to report as of tonight. Hopefully soon.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Derlin.
I was just looking into the truck, information too. But I think we're gonna discuss that in a few minutes, so
Right.
I'll save it. That's about it.
Okay, Councilman McGivney?
Got an update on the letter I sent out to the school districts about the partial exemption for volunteer fire department members and EMS. Happy to report that Millbrook responded back and they did implement the partial tax exemption for emergency responders. I'm still waiting to hear back from Dover and Arlington.
That's great. Good news so far.
Yeah, thanks for doing
Yeah,
it.
thanks for taking that on.
Well, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Town clerk report.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that the burn ban will go into effect starting March 16th and ending May 14th. So it's open burning until then. Thank you.
Thank you. Tax collector.
I didn't do my official, I didn't do an official Facebook post because I'm not on there and I didn't text you. I've been a little busy and you'll see why in a couple minutes.
Taxes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So as of right now, just to recap, the percentage at our last meeting, You really don't want to. January 1st, February 19th, we were at 34%, which was 716 bills. Last year, January 1st to February 28th, we were at 73%. That's 1,536 bills that came in. That was 2024. January 1 to February 27th, our office, thanks to help of Andrea and Emily collecting why I did the deposit and entry, we're at 49%. That was 1,028 bills. Escrow came in on the 27th. Thank you, banks, for holding our residents' money to the last possible minute. I stayed here many nights to just about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I got us up to 85%, which brings us to 1,814 bills. And as of today, we're still at 85%. So we're still withholding or waiting on 171 bills. With that being said, we did pay out every single department here at the town hall. I gave you guys all a copy of those big checks that were submitted to Sarah and Steve. I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday. These days are just meshing with each other here. So the town, the general funds, the highway was paid out last week. The sewage was paid out this week. And fire was paid to the town. Then the town will then submit the payment to the fire district. There will be a check cut to the county next week. So we'll be waiting on just a little close to 900,000 from the residents that kind of lagged behind. So going into March 1st, it's a 2%. That's to March 31st. And again, if it's not hand stamped, March into April, we will have to charge you the penalty on that. I also want to thank Kevin Harrington, McGivney. I'm sure Kevin Derlin will step up, but John Walsh for offering to help me fold all the escrow and stamp them. It's a big project that I have ahead of me. It's about 700 envelopes that we have to send out. So sorry, I have not gotten them out yet, but I promise they'll be coming soon. And I think that's it. It's been a little busy. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, recreation?
Registration for our egg hunts for all events scheduled for Saturday, April 19th is officially open on our Parks and Recreation website. We will once again be running 2 traditional egg hunts, one for 6 and under, and then another for 7 to 10-year-olds, a wheelchair accessible hunt, a low vision hunt where they will hunt for the beeping eggs, and a sensory friendly hunt. That's a smaller hunt for kids who maybe don't like a large crowd, loud noises. Maybe they want to pick specific color eggs, that sort of thing. Registration is required for these egg hunts, and further details on each specific hunt can be found on our website. Additionally, we do plan to host our volunteer hours to help stuff Easter eggs like we did last year. It was a huge hit. Once we have that scheduled, we'll post details of that on our website and our social media pages as well. This Friday, we will be hosting our annual St. Patrick's Day TGTT party. Students K through 5th can enjoy their day off from school with themed crafts and activities and time outside at Time War Park. Hopefully the weather stays nice. And registration and further information for future dates for that program can be found on the Parks and Recreation website. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Councilman Welsh, would you read the parks, please?
Sure. Park report for March 5th, 2025. We have continued clearing trees and brush along the creek side past the concrete bridge towards the Furnace Pond hiking trail and made a lot of headway into clearing that area. Our dump truck should hopefully be finished by the end of this week, which will be helpful for when we have to bring the cans and bottles from the recycling center to their redemption location. And if we have any more snow or ice this winter, as well as moving around brush and trees we take down. With the temperature rising and the ice melting, conditions on the trails and parking lots have gotten pretty muddy. Please be careful, especially at Trail K, Brusco Road, and Godfrey Park, both of which have tire ruts that have developed in the muddier areas. We are still taking down Christmas decorations, which have gotten easier as the ground has started to thaw.
Yeah, just note, the K Trail has been closed for parking now since the thaw started because the vehicles just can't get in and out of there with the mud. Okay. Senior Center said they would like to report next month, so we will skip that. Any public comment on agenda items? Okay, so that brings us to the discussion. I sent you all an email on the website. The current site that we're using was a free template from GoDaddy. There's no longer any support for it, and we are the only organization still using the template. So if something were to happen to the software, we're done. I sent out, I think I mentioned that I sort of sent out an RFP about that. I did. There were a couple outfits that had declined. We did get one back from Cirrus Digital Technology. And then another one that would use a similar style template. You know, comparable to what we're on now. I did make Darren aware of some liabilities that are in place with doing municipal sites. And he was okay with withdrawing the quote. I did not bring, let's see now, mount it on the end here. So what the bottom line on the one quote that did meet the requirements of the RFP, the design and build portion of it is $7,500. And then a $2,500 annual cost for hosting and maintenance. They would also provide training to our department heads so that they could manage their own pages on the website. That 2,500 or the 7,500 rather, design and build, they agreed to spread over a 3-year period for payment at no interest, which would make the initial upfront cost, well, actually for 3 years, it would be 5,000, and then it would drop to 2,500 annually. One of the snags on the RFP that our IT guys had suggested to me was what they call a CMS system. And what a lot of these agencies use is a proprietary system that only they can manage. And then you're stuck with them as your host and maintenance department. If for some reason you have an issue with that service and want to change, you have to go through the whole procedure of an entire
Start all
website
over.
again, right?
Yep.
So our IT consultant had recommended highly against going that route. The two that, you know, declined to submit will use that system instead of what they call an open sourced CMS. So this was the sole return that we got that met the requirements of the RFP. You know, at some point, we're going to have to do something. If you want to chew on this for another month, we can do that. And if you have interest, you know, I can work with the attorney on getting a resolution to accept at the next meeting. Anybody have anything to add or questions?
I think we should work up a resolution to accept.
These people train all the town staff and we're the only ones that do the updates, right? Other than them just updating the software.
Right,
Similar
and
to
yeah,
what now.
any updates and what I wrote into the RFP was, you know, if we wanted to do some further development of a site, that, you know, I worded the RFP to the point that they would, you know, are required to have the skills that we would need to
develop
make
it.
improvements to the site. But
But
yeah,
that's not
they will
included?
come in and train our personnel
Right.
to do their own updates.
But if we're gonna if they're gonna do further things to the site, that's not included in the.
It would
Regular
depend on
stuff.
what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would depend on the extent of what we're looking to do.
What do we pay GoDaddy right now?
I don't,
Around $200 a year for the site.
Yeah, and the problem is,
Right, it does do it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
familiar with the GoDaddy platform. It's not.
right, and it's not supported anymore.
Does this company have examples? Give us
Yeah, I
sites.
believe they're listed on the thing. If not, then, yes, I can certainly provide you their website where they have other sites that they've been doing. Any other questions or discussion on this?
Nope.
Okay, I will poll the board, as I'm putting the agenda together by email
Mhm.
on whether you want to have them, draw up a resolution.
Okay.
So just keep an eye out for that. And, you know, in the meantime, you can check the credentials here. Sure. Okay, we will deal with the parks employee a little bit later. Resolution to report the standard workday hours. This is a requirement by the New York State retirement system that we do annually. This was basically a template from years past. The, public officials that don't, and employees that don't, aren't salary based, employment have to make this report here to qualify for retirement. Do we want to forego reading the resolution, or you guys want to read the resolution?
I just assume we.
I'm good with foregoing it.
Okay.
Ian's fine with it.
So on the resolution, resolution to report standard workday hours for town council and bookkeeper to the supervisor to New York State, retirement system. Motion to pass.
Is it posted real quick?
I'm sorry?
Is it posted? Probably have to post it, right?
Yeah, assuming this has been posted to the website,
Did we post?
didn't
We
post
did.
this
All
in
right. So you
advance, yeah.
got to read it then.
I would read.
Okay, okay. All right, so I'll do the reading then. Whereas the town of Unionville is required to report standard workday hours or workdays for hourly salaried elected and appointed officials to the New York State and local retirement system based on the record of activities maintained and submitted by these officials to the clerk of this body. And whereas the town of Unionville has received the hours for the standard workday for a town councilman, an elected official, and the bookkeeper to the supervisor, an appointed official in the town of Unionville. And whereas the following specifies standard work days for town council, John Welsh, 6, standard workday is 6. The term is January of 2022 through December of 2025. Reportable days are 3.27, and participates in timekeeping is no, which means there's no time clock to punch. Bookkeeper to the supervisor is Sarah Cross. The standard workday is class 6. The term is 2024, February 2024 through December of 2025. She began working with us in February of this past year. Reportable days are 20.95, and participates in timekeeping is no. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby adopts and approves the standard workday for its elected official, John Welsh, town council, and its appointed official, Sarah Cross, as included and made a part thereof. And be it further resolved that a copy of the standard workday hours shall be kept on file at the office of the town clerk. Have a motion to accept. Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Welsh,
Yes,
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Derlin.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, old business, we're gonna table the budget amendments once more. Which brings us to the resolution to hire the deputy building inspector. Councilman Harrington, can you read that for us?
Resolution appointing part-time deputy building inspector. Whereas the town of Unionville has a need for a part-time deputy building inspector to conduct building inspections, issue building permits, certificates of occupancy, and perform other responsibilities of the building department, including enforcement of the New York State Uniform Code and Town of Unionville zoning laws. And whereas the position of part-time deputy building inspector is a non-competitive position pursuant to the rules for the classified civil service of Dutchess County. Whereas the town board of the town of Unionville has determined it is necessary and appropriate to hire a part-time deputy building inspector. And whereas to provide funds to pay the salary of a deputy building inspector, a budget line transfer is required as hereinafter provided. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, the recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. 2, the town board of the town of Unionville hereby appoints William Dempsey to the position of part-time deputy building inspector at a salary of $35 per hour for no more than 20 hours per week, commencing immediately. 3, the town board hereby authorizes the following budget line transfer to pay for the salary of William Dempsey. Transfer from line general fund, transfer to line A.3620.1 building personnel, amount $32,000. 4, the town board hereby authorizes and directs the town supervisor and the town bookkeeper to follow any and all documentation necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution.
Okay, motion to pass.
Make the motion?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Walsh.
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Durland.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, that brings us down to the parks truck replacement. I sent you all the returns on the mini bid that I had requested. I also had checked on an alternate method of doing it, just purchasing a chassis and having a local upfitter put the body on for us and the other equipment. I had some concerns about that because of the amount and our procurement policy, and I did check with the attorney on it. Because of the amount of that install, it would require a full public bid. I went over the costs of doing that public bid, which would involve both the attorney and the engineer to administer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it, we're probably talking about $2,500 in administrative fees. And then the other thing is it would probably take a couple months, which very likely put us beyond the end of the build out of the
Right.
2025 model year. So as attractive as that was, it doesn't seem to work out in the end. Which brings us to the low quote on the mini bid, which is an authorized bid by OGS of $100,232 from Metro Ford. I saw the photos, the vendor working on the truck currently sent me the photos of the parts that came off. That the truck is in pretty rough shape, rust wise. So I do think we need to replace that truck.
Yeah, the dump body's pretty well done.
Yeah, the dump body's very well rusted. The frame and such have some rust as well, but the exhaust is a concern. And, you know, he replaced the stuff that needed to be replaced, but he expected within a year or so needing more repairs.
No doubt,
And they're
yeah.
very expensive on that vehicle.
Right.
As I read earlier, we have, where did I put that? We have, I think, 2.6 million in our general fund balance.
Yeah, you said that in your email. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, over 2.6 million in our general fund balance that this could come out of.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does Vinny think that being a CDL truck is prohibitive to him or?
It's not a CDL truck, it's
Oh,
under,
you said it was
yeah,
a CDL truck.
no, no, no,
Oh,
it's
not
below,
CDL.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That made that sound
Okay,
that way,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I thought it was.
Yeah,
a
it,
CDL truck.
gross weight on is 22,000. And
Okay.
CDLs come in at
20,
26.
yep.
Excuse me. If there's interest in moving forward, I can have the attorney draw up a resolution for the next meeting.
Yeah.
And go that direction. And I think that'll put us ahead of the build out time.
Yeah,
I don't see if we have much choice. That truck has been old for years.
Yeah.
They've been replaced a long time ago. If we end up auctioning the truck.
Oh, that's something I meant to mention. I believe even in its condition, we'll get between 20 and 30,000, putting it out there as surplus.
Cover from the cost.
Yeah, that would be a portion of the truck paid for.
and the plow?
I think we should, if we're getting rid of the truck, get rid of everything as a unit. That would bring a higher sell rate. I spec'd all the new equipment on the new truck.
Yep, just being clear.
Yeah, and the plow is the same brand plow that they have on the other trucks, so the parts are interchangeable.
Good. Good.
That should also be done by resolution, surplus and authorizing it to go to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that won't happen
Yeah,
until
we're
the
used to
new
that.
truck arrives.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll wait.
right. But we're gonna just have a motion to have the attorney draw up the resolution.
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. I will do public comment on town issues at this point. Anyone like to say anything? Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Oh, yeah, so let me run through this quick and then we'll get to you. I apologize. Anyone? Okay, well, Tom, I guess you're up then. Tom is here just to describe the bid packet to us.
The beginning pieces of it.
Thank you.
This is mainly the advertisement cover page. It's kind of like what it looks like from the outside. It is, just basically the timing, the schedule, things like that. This is all done. I'm sorry, I didn't need this. When this is all done, it's gonna be like this stage, it's gonna have the ground base all printed out in the technical specs. So what I included
Oh,
for you.
can you stand up there? Sorry.
So what I included for you was just the cover page and the table of contents, so you can see kind of all the sections, and stuff that's gonna have to be included in this. And then that table of contents goes on to show technical specifications like concrete and finishes and a little bit of electrical work and things like that we're doing. And then you get into the advertisement for bid. So the advertisement for bid is in there and it shows all the different dates that things will be available, when the bids are due, information on how people are gonna pick up the bids. So we talked through with Andrea, how she would be holding the hard copies of bid documents for contractors to come pick up. There'd be a deposit for that, for them to pick up hard copies, and otherwise there'd be digital copies available as well. Our goal is to have this potentially put into the paper this week. This advertisement actually gets put into the paper to notify contractors about it. We can also send this advertisement out if there's specific contractors that we know we want to try to invite to bid this. So we used to fax them out, we can get their contact information and email this out to the people, which is still fair and even because this is a public advertisement that's gonna go to everybody. So then that gets advertised in the paper and made available to people, and then our goal is to have the full bid documents available for contractors to start picking up Tuesday of next week. With that would go the plans, and then we have it out, like I said, the same schedule I laid out the last meeting. It would be out for about 2 months, and then hopefully we could award the contract in May, at which time we do need to complete seeker and have everything ready for that. And then in June, hopefully have contract signed, and then everything complete by September. Mid-September is our goal still. So that's what we got. I'm gonna share this with Ian, because this is our first formal bid doing with the town here. So we have an attorney available. We want him to go through these documents, make sure they're all standard. It's standard stuff we use for other municipalities and school districts. All the prevailing wage stuff applies here. There are new requirements regarding prevailing wage for contractors to register for public work. So we're gonna have to see documents that they're registered and understand the public work. And then we go through the process. Anybody want to ask me any questions on this?
I had just one question, and it really is more along the lines of our publication. What are our timeframes for submitting to the paper for publication, and does that publication actually come out?
And I think Andrea can speak better to that.
So if we send it out tomorrow by 10 a.m., it will be published on Monday through the Poughkeepsie Journal.
And it'll be in that Monday's edition.
Correct, yeah.
Sounds okay.
One thing I might recommend, and I'm not sure if your website would accommodate this, it might be interesting to put it out there on your website saying the same thing. These bid documents are available for this project, and to contact the clerk if they'd like to pick them up. It's just another way to put it out there to try to cast a wide net for bidders.
Yeah.
Is there any action required of the board?
So I went back and looked at my notes, and the motion that was made at the last meeting was to authorize the engineer to prepare the bid documents. I think just to button it up. we
Approve
should
the
make a motion
documents.
The motion should be to authorize him to go out to bid. And if we make that motion, they'll go out to bid, papers will go out according to the schedule. We'll start working, you have to work on secret, we still have to, talk about that a little more.
Prior to the award and about before 2 months. is up.
All prior to the award, so that's what's gonna happen between now and the award of the bid,
Right.
but we should do a motion to authorize him to go out to bid.
Okay, someone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion that we authorize town engineer to go out to bid on the salt shed project.
Yes.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, carry. Thank you.
Any other questions on the matter? So I guess if anybody has contractors they want us to put on the list, feel free to contact me. We'll get them on the list. We'd like to be the ones to send this out to them, just so we know who has it. And then Andrew will be keeping the formal list of who has bid documents. So if there's any changes during the process, any addendums need to happen because contractors had questions and something need to be fixed. We have the contractors on the list who have the plans, and we can get them any updates or changes that need to happen. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your help on this. Okay, we're gonna make a motion to, go into
Executive
executive session to
So moved.
discuss, personnel.
Yes.
When we come back, we will determine whether or not we are going to hire a replacement employee for the Parks Department. If you're willing to, you're welcome to stay, but we will not be conducting any further business after that. So, we have the motion and a second to move across the hall. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll be back shortly. Okay, can I get a motion to return from executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, we met in executive session. There were no decisions made nor any funds allocated. What we did discuss was a prospective employee to replace an exiting employee in the Parks Department. And can I get a motion to have the attorney draw up the resolution to hire the candidate?
I'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carry, thank you. Motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Our next meeting will be March 19th here at 7:30. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thanks for coming, folks.